welcome back to Riftforge Studio. Sean today, and I'm going to take you through how I paint Blood Angels. As you can see here, here's the finished model that I'll be showing how to paint. The red I use takes us back to a bit of a Rogue Trader era, as it's got a hint of orange to it, but it's still very much a red. Here I've got the model all primed black, ready for some pre-shade. So I use Tamiya white, and I thin it about 50-50 with Tamiya thinner. White's always a tricky colour to through the airbrush because it gets a lot of spluttering. So the trick is to just get it thinned so it doesn't run too much and it gets rid of that splutter. So I start with a 1:1 thin and work from there, and then I start building up the white, and then here it is, fully pre-shaded. As you can see, I sort of hit the bottom of the legs, and I sort of do a line through the shoulder pad, and the rest is just a Zenithal highlight, really. And now it's all dry. We're going to hit it with a yellow first. So I use Vallejo Air yellow, and I don't thin this at all. This is a very, very thin paint straight from the pot, so if you use this paint I would recommend not thinning it, but you can use any yellow that you've got kicking around. And then you just want to hit all the white with this, and the reason I do this is when you spray red over white, white and red can make a pink colour. It doesn't always happen with this Vallejo bloody red that I use here, but it can happen quite a lot with other reds, and when it's put on very thinly, it can still happen with this red, so it's always worth not skipping the yellow stage. And now you just spray the whole model with the Vallejo Game Hair Bloody Red, and this one I just thin slightly. It's probably like 2 parts red and 1 part thinner. And then once it's all done, you need to let it all dry. So here's dry. You can sort of see the orange tone to it as well. Now we want to start picking out all the details, but before we pick them out, we need to black out all the areas. So I use this Vallejo model black grey. It's got very good coverage, this paint has, so it just requires 1 coat, thin down obviously. You just go over all the bits that you're going to pick out metal and black. Now you don't have to do the molecular studs, you can just leave them red if you want, but I like to torture myself and I pick them all out. So this is all the areas that you should have picked out, and then we're going to go on to the eyes. We want to get all our non-metallic colours out of the way first. So I use this Vallejo lime green, and I just carefully pick out the lenses. Try and not be as shaky hands as I am here, but you can still get it done even if you've got the shakes. And hold the model at whatever angle you need to get into those areas. So that's the green down, and we want to give a little highlight to the inner of the eyelids here with Flash Gitch yellow I use. Again, any yellow will really do. And just go for the inner of the eye lenses. And then with a bit of Norn oil, you just want to pick out the top corners just to darken this area down. And then when you're happy with that, this is what it should look like. So the top corners have got a dark area, and this is so we can put a dot of white in there to give a lens look overall. Again, being very careful, it's only a small dot. As the lens is done. Very simple one. Now, just use Vallejo model black or Chaos black, whatever black you've got, or Baden black, should I say, and just pick out the gun case in here. And that's the gun casing all painted black. Time for some metallics. So I use Model Air gunmetal. I like to use Model Airs as a silver because it goes over quite nicely. And then just pick out all the silvers, so your bayonet and all your molecular studs if you've gone for that. And here you can see all the areas that I've picked out silver. Now, this is scale 75 decayed metal. The sticker's rubbed off a bit there, but there's a little eagle on these bayonets. I just like to pick out with a bit of gold. And that's that done. Now I've glossed the model here and stuck the transfer on already. Ready for some oils, so I'm going to use Artisola's colour lamp black and add a bit of Zanzador thinner to a wash consistency. Now I'll get a good amount on my brush and I'll make use of the capillary reaction here to do a pin wash on all the red. As you can see there, it all soaks in and just sucks into all the areas that you want. It's a brilliant way to pin wash a model. And the metallics, I wash all over the metallics to really darken these down, as I'll bring those back up later. So that's all of it pin washed and washed on the metallics. So now to go in with my makeup applicator brush, just to tidy up anything up, because I was using quite a large brush there. And here we are, all tidied up. Now after that's dried, I leave about 24 hours for the oils to dry. I've hit it with a matte varnish. Now red's a very tricky colour, changing the hue with the varnishes, so you do want to use that Mecha Vallejo varnish if you want the same tone of red I've got here. Apologies for going a bit faster, but the next stage is highlighting the gun casing. I just use Vallejo Model Light Grey, and that's the gun casing all complete. Now on to highlighting the silvers. Use this Game Air silver. It's a very bright silver. I just pick out all the highlights that I want to pick out on the metallics. That's including on the back of the knees here, if you're careful enough. And there's the metal highlighted. As you can see, it is a very bright colour. Now just give that eagle on the bayonet a little highlight. I'm using scale 75 Alvin Gold. You just want to do quite a small highlight because it is a small eagle. That's that. Now onto some weathering. I actually use a grey here, so I use Scaling Blight Dinge. I found brown doesn't quite work too well with the red, and Scaling Light Dinge is a dark grey, but it does have a hint of brown, so it's sort of best of both that I found. And you just want to sponge all your chips over the model where you'd like. You can go heavy or light as you want here. And that's the model chipped to how I like it. I tend to not go too crazy. Now we're going to go on to some streaks. So we want Winsor & Newton oil colour burnt umber, and you just want it sort of raw in the pot here. I've added a little bit of thinner just to take it down a little bit. You just want to get a bit on your brush and just dab on the chips and streaks that you've created with the Dinge Blight Grey. And then this is where I've added it all, and I've let the oil dry for about 20 minutes here, and then just get a bit of thinner on your brush. You start dragging the oil down, or whichever direction you want the streaks to be, and just work your way around the model here. It's a very fun stage. You can see does have a bit of a gloss left over from the thinner, but don't you worry, when this dries it'll be nice and matte. So as you can see, it's all dried here. 24 hours again, it's best time for oils really, and I've put a base on and painted the rim black, and that's the model complete. If you want to push a little extra, you can always use this Vallejo model colour orange red. It's a very subtle highlight, but I wouldn't use it on mukes like this, leave it for your characters. And here again is the completed model. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave us a comment and a like if you have, and consider subscribing, helps us out. And as you can see, here is a character model that I've painted in this scheme, and if I just zoom in here you should be able to see that highlight from the orange red, and you can see it's only subtle, so it's not turning your models into something from Tron. Thanks again. I've been Sean, and I'll catch you in the next one.